Bacon jam. Bacon jam. A new food, bacon jam. Go out and get it. Go ahead, start.
Sweet and bacon, right?
Yes. I'm Michael Mandel, and I'm back here on Second City.
Second City?
There's a 2 in the name. I can't remember. Double Talk.
Cruises. I'm Mark Steffen. Thanks for joining us right here on Double Talk.
I'm Michael Mandel still. I'm not Jeff Barnett, who was here last week.
Thanks for sitting in, Jeff, for Michael.
Yes, thank you.
The show was much more sedate with you here.
And Mark didn't have his blood pressure up. He didn't have to take those pills. Start, knocking down the martinis to keep himself calm, which is always a good thing to do. So last week was the St. Patty's Day.
It was.
We missed that, and you did mention some of the alcoholic experiments we've done in the past.
Alcoholic?
2 years ago, we premiered our alcohol tasting by having Irish whiskey on St. Patrick's Day.
That's true.
We had a panoply of 5 Irish whiskeys, and we tasted them.
And you know what I noticed? I was in the grocery store today. The Irish whiskeys are still on sale.
They're good.
The St. Patty's Day sale has continued, I guess, until they run out of them. So if you want to get your Irish whiskeys, your Jamesons, your Bushmills, it's still on sale. Mild. $20 a bottle, pretty much.
Jameson is usually like $27.
Well, I picked up a Jameson today.
Jameson's good. Last time, we did a Tullamore Dew because one of our friends had Tullamore Dew, which was good and mild. But Jameson definitely had a good taste. Kilbeggan, I think, was a good one. We had Michael Collins.
Yes, we did. And a bunch of other Irish whiskeys that I can't even remember.
We did have a lot, and we had a lot of fun doing that. And so last year, when St. Patty's Day came around again, we figured we can't do the same thing because we finished off all those. No, we didn't finish off those, but we need something different. So we did the Patty cocktail, which was mixing Irish whiskey with sweet vermouth, which is very much like a Manhattan or a Rob Roy, except with Irish whiskey.
It wasn't bad.
And it turned out that the best combination was with Tullamore Dew. Do you remember that?
I'm glad you remembered that. Yes, I do now.
If it's alcohol, I usually try to remember it.
But it's hard sometimes.
It's hard because you're drinking alcohol at the time.
We didn't try it with a whiskey sour, though, did we?
I don't think you wanted with a whiskey sour. But I did try this thing I found in my readings called the Massey cocktail.
Yes.
And I was telling you about that. And I made one in a small proportion yesterday. It had some promise. And it's a really interesting mix of alcohols because you're doing 1 part gin, 1 part Irish whiskey, 3/4, I think you do Carpano Antica vermouth. It doesn't have to be,
I don't know.
It's a sweet vermouth. 1/4 of chartreuse, which I don't have, so I use Strega, which is an Italian.
Didn't we talk about this a couple of weeks ago, looking forward to St. Patty's Day?
I know it's going to do this.
I think I remember saying, I'd be scared to mix gin and Irish whiskey.
I found something interesting about it. When you think about what whiskey is, alcohol, Scotch alcohol, is pretty much any alcohol that's in an oak or some sort of sherry cask for a number of years. So it gets its flavor from there. Gin is flavored with juniper. So you end up with this good mix of a junipery, woody, not quite peaty, because you don't use peatiness in gin.
Right.
Not in gin, but you don't use it in gin, and you don't use it in Irish whiskey. But you get a wood cask feel, and the sweetness rolls into the juniper, which doesn't have that much sweetness, and it's not bad.
Well, I'd be willing to try it, Michael. In fact, I called you on St. Patty's Day, and
I was not even. Where was I?
Were you out of town? No, you
Tuesday?
were in town. You were in town.
I was.
I think, and I called you to say, hey, it's St. Patty's Day. Let's have some Irish whiskey, just for old time's sake. I never heard from you.
Well, that's because I was out celebrating St. Patty's Day.
I should have known.
Yes.
But you know what?
I was kissing somebody's shamrock.
Well, as you've guessed on this show, drink and food are big parts of this show. It's one of our favorite topics. And this week, a new restaurant has opened in Las Cruces. It's actually been open a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
And it's in my neighborhood. Actually, it's the closest restaurant to where I live.
To your neighborhood.
Just north of Mayfield High School, where I live. This restaurant is right across the street from Mayfield High School. It's called Zeeb's Burgers and Fries. Now,
what an interesting thing. What is that? Is that what goes into a hamburger? Is that like ground?
Well, there's no ham.
Yeah.
But does Las Cruces really need another burger joint?
But you know what? Since there's no place else like that by you, the place that it was used to be a pizza joint, which moved out to
and a
Picacho.
Mexican joint on the other side. Now it's one big burger
You know,
joint.
it does depend if it's a good hamburger place, and you'll never know.
If it's well,
Because you don't eat hamburgers.
It's
But
true.
you can have their chicken.
apparently they
thing.
make chicken. I've driven by there and they're packed at night. I noticed, and at lunchtime.
Oh, because it's the only place there.
It's true.
Notice those potatoes. Those are French fries, but in the story in the Sun News, they call them Julian. Julian.
Well, they misspelled Julian.
Julian.
They don't know how to spell Julian fries.
So the fact that they managed to pick out a nice French name for making their fries gives them some promise.
Well,
There's
Julian
promise.
only
It's very
refers
thinner.
to the cut.
Yeah, it's a thinner cut. Julian.
It's interesting. So I hope to stop in there.
To eat
It's
what?
called
Chicken
Zeeb's.
nuggets?
Zeeb's, they do lunch and dinner. I think they're open till 8 o'clock.
I'll go there. Try some of their burgers. Speaking of burgers, here's another aside. I was in the Independent, which is the burger place I was just telling you about when he so rudely cut in and made us do a show.
Oh, you mean in El Paso?
In El Paso. I think they had a great turkey burger.
That's a new restaurant. Tell the people.
It's been there about
where
a
it is.
month.
That's
not a
new.
month, it's been there a year.
A year?
In
the same building?
Yes, it was the first thing in that Montecito Plaza that they're trying to get people to move into.
North Mesa, a huge apartment complex with
Very
businesses
colorful.
on the ground floor.
The restaurants they have Stonewood, which I think I talked about in this show. But Independent was the first one that the people that did Crave on Cincinnati Street started there. Then they opened up a bunch of other restaurants in the same place. So my wife had a chicken sandwich, which had something called bacon jam in it.
Bacon jam.
Bacon jam. I had bacon jam in Vegas in this really great place. It's by itself, it's wonderful. In her chicken sandwich, it was pretty darn good.
Well, it's bacony and sweet at the same time, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, and it didn't look like bacon. It looked
Chunks?
more like
Was
it would
little
look
chunks of
like
bacon?
chunks. I don't know.
Or was it just bacon grease?
Bacon flavor?
Mixed
It's
with high
really, it was
fructose corn
black.
syrup.
It was black, so it
Black.
might have been a blackberry bacon thing. Anyway, it's worth trying at the Independent in El Paso. Go down there. It's in between Sunland Park and Executive Center. So
You see their ads for the apartments on TV now.
Yes.
The businesses are open, but they're trying to rent the apartments. I think it's like a 4-story apartment building.
it's pretty big.
It's kind of like you see in a big city, the restaurants and businesses on the ground floor, the apartments are above.
People stroll along. Women take out their parasols,
They do.
leave their house. They were walking their parasols and high-heeled shoes.
As they do
Men
in
are
El
working
Paso.
with their little handlebar mustaches, we're going to the local restaurant for dinner.
And hoping to get the photographs in the rotogravure.
Yes, in photogravure. Enough of food until the next aside.
Now, no, we're still talking about food because
We are? What's next?
I was in the
Oh,
Mountain
boy.
View Market, the food co-op, the other day, and they now have their food bar open.
See,
It's a
they
good
always
thing.
had
It's about
sandwiches
time.
there. They always had sandwiches and burritos, I thought.
And desserts and things. They finally got the hot food bar open.
Hot
Finally.
food. Not spicy, but hot in temperature food.
Right, they have a steam tray there,
You know,
and they have salads.
I wouldn't trust them. They just sell healthy food. It's the food there is.
You wouldn't want to eat healthy,
No, if
Michael.
you eat their food, likely you'll get healthier or not get sicker like you would maybe with a
heard that.
hamburger.
So, no, it's good. They have
Although hamburgers don't always make
they
you
have a
sick.
nice salad bar. They have soups. They, I think 2 different soups every day. And every day they have a different entree selection. The day I was there, they had 2 kinds of enchiladas, beans and rice
What a choice!
that's what
How
I
could
ate.
you have a rice enchilada? There's just rice.
on the side. And
the side.
they had a green
Oh,
chili,
beans and rice
green
with the
chili
enchilada.
chicken enchilada. And then they had a
Blue chili.
eggplant and squash enchilada.
Now that's what I expect.
Wasn't bad.
Sounds pretty good.
Although I did prefer the green chili chicken enchilada.
Because you like green chili.
But if you don't eat it there, you can take it home. They do have tables and chairs for you to eat
it's a nice
there.
place to eat. It's quiet.
And there's nothing else to eat there in that
You'll
shopping
see
center.
all the ex-hippies that you miss from the 70s.
The 70s.
Us.
Were you a hippie?
Yes.
Really? How long was your hair? Not as long as mine.
Oh,
You
we're
were
having,
not.
we're having a hair competition.
You were not. I want to see the pictures.
My aunt laughed at me at her
Everybody
daughter.
laughs at you.
Well, yes, but this is for my hair. It's at her daughter's
Did they
wedding,
call you a
saying,
sweetheart?
"Look how you dress." Anyway, hair. Yeah, my father was pissed at long hair.
We'll bring in
But look at me now. I just have to keep
Michael, I
whatever
challenge you
get.
to bring in a picture of you with the long hair, and I'll bring in mine.
Sounds good.
All right. Now, horse racing is in the news in New Mexico.
Really?
They're off
What'd
the
they do?
ring at Sunland Park, Ruidosa Downs.
I was away last week. What happened? Oh, just started? Is that it?
Well, no, actually, there was a bill afoot up in Santa Fe.
Wait, a bill afoot? What are you talking about?
Or-
Some weird duck?
hoof.
Yes, okay.
And which was vetoed by the governor.
Are you losing your voice?
I
Is
am
that where
losing
it's
my
going?
voice. I'm getting
what-
hoarse of all things.
That's what happens when you talk about it. You know,
So,
you get it.
no, it was, everybody was for it. Mary Kay Pavin, our senator. In fact, all the representatives were in favor of this bill to be more strict with drugging and doping horses and jockeys.
Yes. But it was voted down?
It was voted down by our governor.
It went all the way, it passed through two houses
The governor vetoed it.
of a bipartisan, very mixed and contentious government now.
Yes, they were all
Got
for
through
it.
both of that, and that's it. Well, she must have some voting money on her side.
Well, you know,
I
the
wouldn't
horse
say
racing
that. Do you think
industry
is,
must be a big fan of Governor Martinez.
And Governor Martinez.
Because you know we had the big
aims
scandal
to please.
last year with the
Which
with the
scandal?
cartel money,
Yes.
laundering their money through the casinos and the horse racing tracks.
Maybe she's just trying to save her life.
Or
Maybe
could be.
yes, she's been threatened by the cartels.
And so it was.
Was that a symbol when you did that? Was that a symbol to the cartels?
The New York
knock
Times
him off?
did a big story on it, and that's on New Mexico's crooked horse racing scenario.
No, good thing nobody here reads the New York Times.
That's why.
Except Bob Libby and
this came
Peter
along.
Shotwell.
And so the governor vetoed a bill to increase security at, not just security, but
Behind the scenes in
the doping scenario for jockeys and horses.
It's getting ridiculous. Lance Armstrong can't dope anymore. All those athletes can't dope. Now they're picking on poor little horses, big horses, all kinds of horses. They're just cute little animals, fuzzy little roly things.
Yes, but there's a lot of money involved.
There is.
So that's the deal there. Now, the spaceport bill also was another bill that failed.
Is there any money involved there? Another bill that failed. This could be a show on the bills that fail.
Well, there were people in Santa Fe who wanted to sell the spaceport.
Yeah,
Put it up for sale, get rid of it. It's a white elephant. It's costing us too much money because nobody's using it.
You think, is that because nobody wants a garage in the middle of, 40 miles away from any known sort of life?
It would make a great
studio
location for a movie.
No, because you don't want people. Well, people could fly in, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, there's one of the longest landing strips in the country right there.
Yeah, but you definitely have to have a lot of money to go into it, and have to have a certain. I guess you could turn it into any type of set, right?
Well, use it for the set that it is, and make.
How many movies you can have with the same building? It
One.
That's one building.
That one movie.
They'd rent it for one time.
Sure.
You better make $200 million on that one movie, and.
What
and do it that way.
But no, the state will rent the place out for movies.
They will.
They want to.
And or parties, or galas, or weddings.
Sure.
Or
sure.
if J-Lo gets married again, or Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, once she gets rid of Kanye West.
The spaceport is available for rent. You have your bar mitzvahs, your bachelor parties, whatever.
Fancy bar mitzvah.
Now, getting there is not that easy, but maybe they let you fly in and spend the night.
Where?
At the spaceport.
They'd have to do the hotel thing, and we're going to get to hotels soon. But we're going to take a break before that. I think is it time for our break? Okay, boss. What is that a picture of? Are we jumping to this? We're not going to jump to this.
That's our next topic.
We're going to talk about that,
which has to do with the convention center in Las Cruces.
Which is the same type of idea, where a government comes in and establishes something and has no sort of entrepreneurial flair.
Well, let's take that break.
You know what you're doing. We'll take the break.
And we'll be right back after these valuable words.
Okay. Sandy Becker, crack. Remember that?
Who's that?
He was.
Attention users of the blood-thinning drug Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call the Sentinel Group now. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call Sentinel Group now. Don't wait.
Have you or a loved one suffered complications after uterine surgery from the use of a power morcellator? If so, call the Sentinel Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The FDA estimates that 1 in 350 women undergoing a myomectomy or hysterectomy have unsuspected sarcoma or cancer in the uterus. The Sentinel Group's experienced network of attorneys have years of experience fighting big medical companies and is ready to fight for you. So if you've developed uterine cancer, call the Sentinel Group now for a free confidential consultation.
Listen up, America!
The price of life insurance has gone down 60% over the last 15 years. Many Americans know they need it, and some that have life insurance know they don't have enough. How would your family get by without you? How are you planning for the uncertainties of life? Find out how easy it is to protect the ones you love. The quote is free, and there are no obligations. Listen up, America. Call now.
Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
An important message for Americans in need of health insurance. If there's been a recent change in your life, you are eligible for immediate protection under the Affordable Care Act. If you're uninsured because you missed the enrollment deadline, we can help. To get the protection you need, you can visit the Healthcare Exchange and spend hours exploring your options. Or you can make a single call to Health Markets and let us do the legwork for you at no cost or obligation.
Call the number on your screen now. Operators are standing by. Get the coverage you need. Call now.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a medical alert. If you or a loved one took Zofran while pregnant for morning sickness or nausea, and your baby was born with a birth defect, call us immediately.
Call 1-800-953-0860.
You and your child may be entitled to compensation. Zofran taken during pregnancy may increase the risk of heart defects, cleft lip, cleft palate, and other birth defects. Call us now for a free confidential consultation.
Call 1-800-953-0860. 1-800-953-0860.
And we are back.
This
is Double Talk on Channel 98. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel, and we should have been talking as we cut into this like we did in the beginning of the show. Jeff did that last week. I think it's got to be, people have to have a thing that we do. Talk as you open up.
Well, we try to look professional on this show, believe it or not.
Well, we wouldn't have to try if we were. We would just do it. And also, you know, if you stuck to the script, it would sound a lot more professional.
We don't have a script, Michael, and you know that very well.
Really? I've been reading off the screen there.
Well,
yeah, it's on the bottom.
Well, I don't read that language.
You can't see that far. What does that say? Let me read the script. The Las Cruces Channel, the official TV station of Las Cruces. That's pretty good. We're official. Anyway, since we're official, we can talk about official things happening around the city.
That's true.
And we talked about the spaceport, which is not really around the city. And they keep talking about making that road that goes straight up from, what's that name? UFAM. UFAM is how you pronounce it. And you know, it won't cost that much. A couple of $1 million that we can take away from mental health in the entire state, which is what is happening anyway. So you take the money from mental health, have crazy people walking down the street, but you can have a great road to nowhere. It sounds very Alaskan to me.
Well, it's the crazy people who want to jump into the spacecraft and go to the stars anyway.
It is, but you know, they see the potential in it. Who knows what products could come from this? You know, didn't we get Velcro from the space program? No. Did we get Teflon? I think we got Teflon.
Those are from the aliens, Michael. Everybody knows that.
Oh, that's right, and that's why we're doing the spaceport. For the aliens to land.
For the aliens.
Nobody's out there. In fact, it is for the aliens.
Apparently they have a caretaker that they pay to be there.
Who's an alien.
What a job, huh?
Who's an alien. An alien took over his body and is watching it. You know, you go, come on down. Come on down. Nobody's here. You guys could park your little alien vehicles in our...
Oh, what? No, but...
You didn't see that, did you, Dee?
Enough of the spaceport.
Yes.
Because we have...
Another turkey.
Another white elephant called the Las Cruces Convention Center.
Yes.
And
nobody voted for it when they wanted a convention center. Nobody saw the need for it.
That's true. The voters voted against the convention center, yet the city council and their wisdom went ahead and made it anyway.
Here's the funny thing. The city council said, well, if we get a convention center, then more people come to town and fill up our hotel rooms.
Right.
Yet they're not getting enough people there, so they think they have to build another hotel to take out the rooms that the businesses that are already here could use if they could get any decent conventions.
Well, the city tacked on a lodger's tax to all the hotels to pay for the convention center. Now, I wonder if the convention center has now paid for itself through the extra people coming here because of the convention center.
Do you wonder this?
Do
you wonder this, or we're going to take the guess
That's
that
a rhetorical
you highly
question.
doubt it? Yes.
Ain't
never going to pay that thing back.
Because the convention center, first off, is not that big, and two,
there's
no airport for people to fly in to have their conventions here.
I thought you just said there's a spaceport. People could come from
yes, but that's
Zoltan
70 miles away. But, yeah, why would they come here in the first place?
To go to that hotel in the convention center, but first of all, you can go to the Ramada and the, 3 other hotels?
There's 3 or 4 other hotels within 5-minute walking of the convention center. Yet, the city thinks that they don't want people to cross the street after the convention. They want them just to walk next door.
You know, it'd be cheaper
than
a hotel?
What?
A sky path over the road. You just do a little sky thing. We did it for the Las Cruces High School.
That's right.
It's really cool looking, but probably ultimately unnecessary.
No, that way we won't have to slow down with the school zone anymore. That's what I like. But you're right. A sky path over University Avenue.
Little cheaper than a hotel, and
heading
also
toward the hotels.
And it doesn't compete with other hotels that are trying to make a living from the tax that they've tacked on so they could pay for this thing.
You know what? I bet somebody calls in to sound off to the Sun News and says it says the very thing we're talking about right now.
I don't know. All my ideas.
I don't know who that will be.
D, call in.
So now,
Metro Rail, that's a great idea. We already voted down that southern New Mexico transit thing with the buses. Metro Rail would be good. How about a subway? Now that the water table is really low, we can do a subway.
Well, actually, to get back to our point, the city is talking about now leasing 8 acres next to the convention center to build a hotel. Now, the university owns the land, and they're willing to lease it to the city so that a hotel can be built, so that the conventioneers can stay in the hotel and go to the convention.
And they don't have to go to outside hotels. And the question is the city going to charge themselves lodger's tax there?
Charge themselves a lodger's tax.
Who's going to pay for the help and all the running of it? Marcy Dickerson, maybe?
Well, we hope that the hotel pays for itself.
Yes, but somebody has to run the hotel. You need a management thing.
You have to hire they hired management.
They
hired management for the convention center. That's a Global Spectrum.
But we're paying for it.
So now you hire a management for the hotel, like any hotel.
So we're paying for that. Not only do we put up the hotel, we pay for the help. The help doesn't care if they're making money because they're paid by the city. They hope they make money, just like the Space Center hope that they made money.
So you're talking about socialized lodgings now.
Ooh.
Right?
I guess so. It's socialized.
It's a socialized hotel. Well, there'll be more on that.
I look forward to seeing it. No, I hope we don't do it, but we probably will.
Well, speaking of conventions, we used to have, it wasn't really a convention, it was a festival here called the Border Book Festival. Well, last year was the last year for it, unfortunately. Denise Chavez has decided to hang it up.
It usually happens in April, really.
April and March, right during the windiest season of the year.
And our little book organization, our writers organization, used to sell our books there.
What's that?
Sin Fronteras.
Yes.
And then she closed it off to booksellers, because you could see then it was shrinking. Less things, less venues.
Well, I don't understand why, just because she doesn't want to do it, why couldn't others continue on?
It is not easy. She's been doing it for 20 years, she said? And she and Daniel spend most of their life setting up for it, getting their friends to come in and read, and doing things. You spend your whole life, 20 years of doing that, and she doesn't really get
I wonder if she looked around and tried to find others who might want to carry on. She probably didn't find anybody willing to do it.
I would guess not. And this is what is actually happening to a lot of these freebie things, not freebies, but these fun things. the person who does it just burns themselves out.
It kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller over the years, unfortunately.
And you'd hope somebody would come up.
But I hate to see it leave because I'm a big fan of books. I like to read.
Books?
Books, actual books, not that.
What you don't have a tablet?
Kindles, no.
You don't have a Kindle stick or a Nook book?
Well, that's still books. The authors wrote those books.
It is, but that's why the book fair goes out of business, because you're not holding the book in your hand. You are if it's electronic, but you're not making paper. You're not doing all that stuff. The way of those books are gone. People don't even read anymore. They text. Oh, we better keep moving on to the next thing. So, Border Book Festival is gone. We hate to see it go. Chopey's is still there. It got awarded something, not necessarily for the food, but the fact that they've been there for a long time.
Been there for so long. It's now on the historical register.
And it should be.
The building
it's
itself.
a historical place here.
Right. It's
been there a long
Chopey's
time.
Bar and Grill. I worked on a movie that shot in there last year.
They sell, half-gallon containers of beer, and they put it in ice cubes? No, quarts. They sell
you can buy a
bottles.
quart of beer.
Yeah.
It used to be a good deal. Then they doubled the price, so I don't go there
anymore. The food's okay. It's not bad. So it's worth going to. It's worth the trip, and it's worth the experience.
Yeah, and since they closed my favorite restaurant down in La Mesa, Severo's.
Severo's, that was a good one.
You're stuck with Chopey's now.
And what else? Oh, daylight savings time. Because we're rushing along. We got our pictures.
We have daylight savings time.
We love daylight savings time, but you wouldn't appreciate daylight savings time if you didn't have daylight losing time, which is standard.
Well, so
losing daylight.
Yeah, so there's people who want to either do away with it or keep it that way the entire year. What do you think? Keep it or lose it?
I like it the way it is. I don't mind when your time is crazy, because it makes life more existential. It shows you that time is not it's a constant, but it could be manipulated somehow by humans.
If all the other states except Arizona do it, I think we should continue doing it also.
I think so too.
Yeah,
we're more part of America than we are part of Arizona. We shouldn't be part of Arizona.
Now, also this weekend, the Hot House at the Black Box Theater. It's the second week. It's live theater. I recommend you go see it.
It's not directed by that guy. It's directed by Algernon DeMassa.
That's right. Oh,
who's been on this show?
That's right, and the TV show American Pickers. It's on one of those cable shows, cable channels. They want to come here. If there's enough people who have stuff they want to sell, get in touch with the American Pickers. Go to their website.
And people have stuff.
They'll be here in April if there's enough reason for them to come.
Those of you who don't want to do a yard sale, American Pickers is where you make your money. And I think do we have any more time? Because
we never know around here.
We don't know.
Because there's no numbers on the screen, so we're going to assume that we're about out of time.
There is a talk about, global warming? And that's it. Our show has cooled off because global warming is just too
Michael,
hot.
Thanks for coming back.
Well,
now,
it's good
you're
to
not
see
going to
you.
be here next week or the week after or the week after that.
And that's perhaps true. Until there's equal pay for your co-host.
Michael, you have to earn your pay to get what I get. You've only been here a short time. You're the newbie.
I'll keep
That's the way it
talking
goes.
after the show's over so I can make extra money.
Thanks for joining us
cutting in now?
on Double Talk.
Give us a 10.